Okay, welcome back, and this time around the camera is just panning to my right. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well. It's good to have you on the show, first off.
Thank you.
Let's find out your brand, the name, and why you actually chose that.
Okay, my brand, I call it Kids Got Talent. I have seen wonders performed by children, and I believe every child is talented.
Yeah.
And I also believe every child deserves a right to display, to showcase that talent.
Wow.
So what I do is give them a platform to showcase whatever talent they have in them.
Wow, that's quite interesting. We know that talent is not enough when you don't have the platform to showcase it.
Exactly.
And if that's what you've chosen, I just want to find out, growing up from you, and how's it been? Tell us a little bit about family, because if you're doing things like this, it's most of the people who've had cause to interact with will tell you it has to do with their own experience too growing up. But let's find out from you. Yeah.
Okay, growing up, I would say I actually started playing the piano.
At what age, please?
When I was a teenager.
Wow.
I started playing the piano, and I actually felt this urge to do something different, to create something. So I started playing the piano, and I felt the urge to also bring together people like me. I started out with a musical concert. That was like 10 years ago.
1 decade.
So I've been doing this for 10 years officially.
Wow.
I started 10 years ago. I brought together people who could play all kinds of musical instruments. But then I actually combined both adults and kids together. So I did that for 4 years. The 5th year, I decided to focus on children. And I decided to focus on age 4 to 13. Because I believe at that particular age, it's best to catch them young. You can still correct them and do all sorts of things to them.
Wow. KKT. That's quite interesting.
KGT.
Okay, KGT, right?
Yes.
Kids Got Talent. KGT. That's quite interesting. Well, let's find out parental touch now. Mom or dad? Who do you have more?
Well, I lost my dad at a very young age. Well, when he was alive, he used to play the piano, so maybe I would say I got that from him.
So the adrenaline is running from dad.
He actually met a piano in the house, so I picked up from there.
Wow.
Well, my mom has been very fact. I don't know what to say. She has been there for me.
Yeah, good.
So,
wow, this is quite interesting. Let's find out some of the things you've done lately, and partnership. I know churches are one spot that you can miss when you want to do stuff for kids, but let's find out for you, how has it been? Partners, who are the people you're relating with, trying to do your things? Do you do it independently and call for people to participate or attend, or you have strategic partnership with some people you do most of your project?
Well, I would say when I started in a church. That was like 10 years ago. Well, I would say roughly 75% I do it alone.
Wow.
Because of my job, I really don't have the time to go out and get people involved. But I would say now the project is getting so many partnerships. People are actually coming in to be part of the program.
Wow.
Since we're having the 10th anniversary this year, in about 6 weeks' time, so we're getting people involved.
Wow, this is quite interesting. What will be your words when it comes to children moving into the path they want to go, other than parents mandating? You have to do engineering, you have to do medicine, and that. Let's find out. In terms of career, do you have some of that into your program that you do for teens?
Yes. I would say the best thing for every parent is to support whatever talent your child, whatever they have in them. The best thing is to support them, because even if you have maybe you want your child to be a doctor, he decides to go to school and he has a passion for music, and you don't support that child. Even if the child becomes a medical doctor at the end of the day, he will still go back to that passion. So I think the best thing is all parents should try and focus on whatever talent your child has.
Okay.
Grow the talent in them, and I'm sure they'll become the best in life, rather than forcing them to do, okay, maybe, you wanted to be a doctor, just because you couldn't be a doctor, then you have to force your child to be a doctor. No, whatever talent your child has, try and support that talent.
That's quite interesting. Let's look at work-life balance now, using you as a case study. You have to do this, and it has to do with more of your passion and what you want to do for children.
Yes.
But you have to meet up with the demands of your office.
Yes. My weekends are always very, very busy, so I spend my weekend on my passion.
Wow.
I spend Mondays to Fridays on my bank job.
Wow, this is quite interesting. We're not asking the name of the bank because we know it's going to reflect by your personality seated here in the studio with us. But I just want to find out, looking at the Nigerian young person these days,
Okay.
the advent of what the internet is now, social media stuff and the rest. We want to find out again what will be your words on the part of young people using internet. Because if you're doing Kids Got Talent, we know you are actually taking some time to actually block those areas that they can miss it. So let's find out young people and the use of internet in Nigeria.
Okay, to be candid, my own opinion is I really don't think young people should be restricted. Because when you tell a child not to do this, not to go on the internet, where do we acquire knowledge? We do this on the net. But I think maybe certain information shouldn't be put online where kids will be involved. So
moving one step forward, I wanted to ask you, there is a telco that actually came up with an app, and there is a tablet for kids. Do you think that was a very good one? Was it innovative enough for a telco to come up with an app and a tablet for young people?
Very, very innovative. That was wonderful what they did.
Wow. Okay, because we're not doing art now, we're not mentioning names, but sincerely, we want to now open doors for you to communicate directly to children watching this program all around, and parents too. The camera is on this side. It will not be your time to now leave your voice on the screen. Let's have you give some recommendations on how best to actually manage talent, especially for children, and moving forward.
Okay, my advice is, as a parent, if you know your child has a particular talent, I think the best thing is to develop that talent in that child. And to every child, if you know you have any talent in you, discuss with your parents. Don't lose focus of that talent, because any talent that is hidden becomes latent. If you don't develop your talent, it dies in you.
Wow.
It dies in you. So I think it's very important that we develop any kind of talent you have in you. It's very, very important for us to, pursue that.
Haven't said this. Would you say you still play piano?
Of course, I still.
In church?
I still.
Events?
I still.
This is quite serious. We'll be visiting the event coming up very soon anyway to see how you're going to do that. Or you're not going to do stuff during the events? Are you allowing just the kids to display?
I should. I should do something.
This is quite interesting. Okay, I'm just thinking of calling for a break now so that we'll not have you and our first guest to have issues facing the NGOs now. Definitely, you don't want to tell us that there are no challenges. Trying to put up projects and you want kids to participate, you need some kind of, like we talked about partnership then. Let's talk about it. Okay, before we even call for that, in terms of having events that has to do with talent development, what would you say is one of the largest you've ever done in terms of the number of participation?
Okay, you want me to tell the number?
Yeah, like in terms of capacity, when you do your programs, number of kids that you have participate?
Hundreds.
Okay, in hundreds, right?
Yes, hundreds.
Oh, so
because we always use the hall we always use. Okay. It's always full. I don't want to mention it.
You don't want to mention it. It's okay.
I'm trying to.
Okay, but why I'm asking that is for a very good reason, and that reason is the aftermath of such events. Now, events for me, maybe because of my little knowledge in events, is in three phases: pre-event, event, and post-event. Okay. In terms of post-event, what are the strategies? If you have, maybe you want to use a case study of a particular project or an event that you organize every now and then, and tell us from start to finish, what are the contents that goes on during the event, please? Okay,
first, we have this advert. If you have a talent, you register, we audition, we have several stages. The grand finale. After the grand finale, the winners, we try to do something even after the project, so that it's not like, oh, you've won and the talent just dies. I don't know if I can mention names of kids.
Please go ahead. That's why we're here.
Okay, we discovered Akorede is called Kore Sax. He won in the particular year. We actually discovered Ozibosco.
Are you serious?
President ambassador of Loma. He was
That's quite interesting.
4 in our show. We have some.
I know I can be super.
Exactly.
And he's a superstar now.
He is. So
Wow.
we actually discovered him. I have Korede Sax. Even after he won in our show, he was like he also featured at this Nigeria's Got Talent. It was like the last 10, and he has been getting lots and lots of shows to actually.
And endorsement all around.
Yes, endorsement too. I can't remember some of songs, but we actually but at this year's event, we're actually bringing past winners together to do something.
Oh, so all stars gathering.
Exactly, and we are having this award for kids that have done something exceptional. I'm not just looking at the arts now. Any field, any kid has done something exceptional, we're going to be giving them an award.
Wow.
So
I think this is quite interesting.